Okay.
I can't be waiting for you. It's 7 o'clock. We gotta get rolling. Hello, everyone. Very excited to be with you tonight. Things will be a little different than they were last week and the week before because we're back to using these again.
And you moved the button.
I moved the button. I got rid of the button. There will be no oops this weekend or for this stream.
Yeah.
Very excited about that. And we've got a lot of news about this live stream that I'm excited about. The teacher's pet became a new member. That's a big bit of news. One of the things that I want to say real quick is we have not used these microphones in a bit, and we got 2 additional ones, which I had to configure everything and get it all set up. If the audio sounds too loud or not loud enough or whatever, don't say anything about it because it'll just distract me and it'll get me all messed up. But no, let us know, and I can make adjustments on the fly. It's no big deal. Very exciting show for you today, jam-packed as always. Got some fish keeping news to talk about. I'm going to let her talk a little bit today too. She's doing a profile on an extraordinarily rare fish that hardly anybody knows anything about, but you're going to learn something about them today. Yeah. We're bringing back Rate My Tank. I want to do this every single week. I think it's going to be one of those things that we look forward to doing every single week. New segment that we have yet to do on this live stream called I Love the Comments Section.
That's going to be a lot of fun.
That one is, it's not what you think. It's not all going to be bad. We are going to announce the giveaway and next week's giveaway, but there's going to be some complications with that. We'll get to that when we get there. Product Spotlight tonight, going to be talking about a product that I've done the video about already, but that's okay because it's great. A creator shout out, Lisa's World, John's World, true or false, which we need to read that question before we start here. And then Lisa and I both have some thank yous that we're going to do. A segment called Thank You, which will be fun, which I do not have an intro for. Now, today's true or false question is, or statement, question, I don't know how you want to say it. She doesn't even know anything about this, right? She knows about the topic. She doesn't know that I'm put this in here. Adding more filtration media will provide more beneficial bacteria. Are you the one that came up with that? Is it you?
No, you came up with it, but I knew about it because I did it.
Oh.
I'm not going to say which one I picked.
Please don't, because I want to make sure you weren't wrong.
We did talk about it. Wrong.
So if you are here watching this, first of all, thank you for joining. And be sure to put your answer in. You got 3 options this time: true, false, or maybe. Depends.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it's funny with true or false, you can't have true or false. You have to have a third.
I mean, in situations like this, it's true. So the segment really should be called true, false, or maybe. But for this one today, there is an option for a maybe. So big thing to talk about here. This is news, but it's not fish tank news, but it is fish tank news, but it's also not. So, all right, listen. When new internet, fiber optic internet gets installed into a neighborhood, they come through, and the process is a very involved process to get that whole system installed. They come through, they run the wires. In our case, they run them up on the poles, and then another crew comes through and sets boxes there that are they're called pedestals for the wires to go up into, and then another crew comes and puts the wires into that box, and then it's like it never ends. This has been going on with us for like 8-9 months now. We've been watching this go down. I mentioned to you last week that I saw some trucks out there working. Well, guess what? I don't know if she posted anything on social media about it. She probably did. But yesterday, they came. They didn't install the internet, but what they did was they basically got it the rest of the way done at the front of the house, at the front of our property. So the box is there, the wires are all in it, they're all hooked up. I went out there because of course I did, and I talked to the guy that was doing the work on it yesterday, and I said, hey, been waiting a long time for this. When is this thing going to be ready? He was a super cool guy, came up from Georgia to do this, and he said, this is what he told me, okay? He said, we should be turning this over to them as completed and ready to go next week. With next week being Thanksgiving week, it wouldn't shock me if you didn't hear anything from them until the following week. So the week after Thanksgiving should be when I am getting on the phone to schedule. I'm going to do it because I ain't waiting for her. Schedule the appointment to install the internet. We're getting it installed into this building directly and into the house. This one being the priority. But my biggest fear, because we've waited so long, is they'll call me that Monday because I'm on the list. They would call me and say, hey,
you're number one.
Probably. Hey, it's ready to go. Would you like to schedule an appointment to install it? And I'm like, yeah, let's do it. And they're like, okay, the first availability we have is the second week in March. You know, that'll be my worst nightmare. I don't know if that's going to happen. I really hope it's not, but we'll have to see. Fingers crossed.
And you know what? I'm really thinking about doing some kind of highlight reel of John all these months with the, you know, the text messages he sent me. Oh, they're so close. Or, oh, they've got this area highlighted, and pictures of him talking to these people and going down the road talking to them, and just all of the pictures I've taken, because it's funny to me. It's freaking hilarious. And I think it would be a fun thing to do, a highlight reel of his waiting for the new internet.
Good luck with that. Yeah, sure. It'll be fun. I've been miserable because, you know, once again, Elon Musk's internet is fantastic. Evan Rifkin, who I just saw commented in here, said last week, he said it differently than what he said this week. This week he said, all I want for Christmas is for John to get his internet. Oh. He said last week, all I want for Christmas is for John to get Starlink. That's what we've got, Evan, and it's not working out.
No.
Works great for everything but doing this live stream.
Doesn't work good in my office. It doesn't work good in the kitchen. And those are the two places I'm usually at in this house during the day. If I'm not working in the fish house or, you know, packing orders, I'm in the office or the kitchen, and it sucks. The internet's terrible.
All those problems go away as soon as they get their butts out here to do this. So hopefully it'll be happening. I mean, you know, perfect world scenario, we'd be getting it installed the week after Thanksgiving. When they call me, I am going to beg and plead. I'm not going to pull the do you know who I am game.
I'll get that on.
I am going to beg them. I'm going to be like, listen, I will, whatever I have to do, I will do it, please. And it's probably going to mean nothing to them, but I'm going to beg for it to be installed quickly. We'll see. We'll see if it is.
I'll record it.
But I can tell you this, as soon as it is installed, you're going to notice a massive difference on this live stream. Not just the quality of the stream itself, but I think my presentation will even be better because I'll have the confidence that it's not going to cut out. When I was talking to the guy yesterday and I told him what I do, he was like, dude, you have no idea how good this is going to be for you. And I'm like, I know, that's why I want it. So anyway, hopefully it gets installed very fast, and you were only dealing with this for another couple of weeks. We'll have to see, but there you go. There's the update on that. I guess we should just go ahead and get right into. I did it.
What did you do?
I said go ahead.
Go ahead.
You want a good way to know how you will never end up on my creator shout out segment is for every fourth thing you say to be the words go ahead. I clicked off of a video today because I saw this person say, let's go ahead and do this, and then we're going to go ahead and do that, and then go ahead and do that. And I just did it myself. Shame on me. Anyway.
He has gotten on me about that before.
I've made her, redo takes.
Yeah.
Push the fish tank news button.
Oh, sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story.
You have man boobs.
You poop out! Poop out your mouth!
Oh, my apologies. Boy, that escalated quickly.
I'm Ron Burgundy. Go
Click subscribe.
San Diego.
Look, we have another one here. Lisa gave me the green light the other day to buy microphones for the other two sets so that we're not using the wireless microphones out here. You see what we do for you? We're trying to bring you the best possible live stream experience. We're still not there yet. I wish I could make this room quieter. That would help, even though these are the best microphones for getting rid of that background noise. It would be ideal if we could have it nice and quiet out here. I don't know that that's ever going to happen. But anyway, Lisa's going to have better audio at her set too. But let's get on with the news. Got a couple of things, one of which I'm super excited about, and another one I feel a little bad about because I forgot to mention it in the video. On Sunday, I put up a video that was Lisa touring Ron Cichlids for Mbunas. I'm not going to do a news flash on what that was for, but I think you can figure it out. And stay tuned for that. I'm going to let her make that announcement. That's not the news, though. I got an email from Ron Demers after that video went up, and he's like, dude, you forgot to mention the promo code. I've talked about it before, but I want to bring it up to you again. Ron Cichlids is offering 10% off to anyone that watches our channel that uses the code KGT10. Now, let me be very clear with you here, okay? This is not an affiliate code. We do not make a commission from this. It's not anything like that. We're doing that, and we're offering that discount to you, and we're not taking money from him just because we want to be able to help businesses like that. Even though Ron's business is doing better than ours is, still nice to support people who support us. So it's not an affiliate code, no FCC or whatever, FTC regulation violations, none of that. We're not making any money off Ron Cichlids at all. But if you are in the market for African cichlids, you know, for the longest time, I was sending everybody to one particular place. And then there was another place that unfortunately shut down. I'm going to tell everybody, you're doing this wrong if you don't go to Ron Cichlids. They are amazing. And I'm not saying that just because we've been there and Ron and Hunter are friends. No, it's because we've seen what they have. Absolutely amazing. And you can get 10% off KGT10. That's all you have to do. And we don't make any money, so you don't have to feel bad about it. Next thing that's really cool, Lisa, get ready to push the button.
Oh.
My friend Bill Mason, he routinely sends me, I'll tell you when, he routinely sends me updates because I ask him to. I want to know what's going on with that man. And wait a minute, who's Bill Mason? Did I hear you say that? If you don't know who Bill Mason is, you've missed one of the best videos that we've done in the last 5 years on our channel. We traveled as part of our Boxes of Water series. We traveled to Prospect, Connecticut. It was the same weekend that we went to Fins and Fury. We met with Bill. We went to his house and toured his fish room, and it's absolutely incredible. Bill is a Vietnam veteran that had his arm blown off in Vietnam, and he's been keeping fish and living his life and dedicated to veterans for his entire adult life after that. He's 73 years old, and every single one of his tanks looks better than any of mine do. So he's doing it right, and he's doing it with only one arm. Well, he sent me a video. Go ahead and push the button, Lisa. He sent me an update video a few days ago, which I'm going to share with you here. And it shows a new tank that he has. I don't have it in front of me while I'm talking to you because I'm away from the computer, but he got a brand new 240, which is dedicated to his Mbunas, which is amazing. And he took a tank out. He got rid of a 180 and he got rid of a 125 and he replaced it with a 240, and he made room for an even more ridiculous, crazy tank that he's going to be putting in place where the Mbunas were before. If you watch that video, You've seen all of those tanks. You've heard Bill's story. Absolutely fascinating guy, and his tanks are incredible. He's very fortunate that he's retired, and in his retirement, one of the things that he commits a ridiculous amount of time to is keeping his aquariums. I'm super proud of what he's done. I'm super proud of what he represents for this hobby. The video should be looping. Hopefully it is, just playing over and over and over again. How would you feel if you went down into your basement every day and you saw that? Forget about it. It is absolutely incredible what he has going on in there. And he's a great guy. And his aquariums are meticulous, as you can see from the videos. He's not just an African cichlid keeper. He does have the one big tank that has a... does it only have one arowana in it, or has multiple? Two arowanas. He's got Oscars in there. He's got all kinds of... it's all... beautifulness is what he has. And he's got another tank coming. But one of the main reasons why I wanted to bring it up is because Bill's always been this guy. And I think that I may have inspired him a little bit, the whole pay it forward thing and all of that. But I think he probably would have done this whether he even met me or not, so it doesn't matter. The 125 that he broke down that had his imbunas in it, he's actually donating that to another veteran that's going through some struggles. I don't know anything about that vet, but Bill is taking care of all of that, and he's donating that tank to him. I think it's got a couple of FX6s with it, the whole deal. And I'm so inspired by that. I was very much hoping that I could get up there, we could get up there and help him out with that. I just don't know that we're going to be able to make that happen because we're kind of at the mercy of a bunch of people's schedules, including ours. So I don't think I'm going to be able to get up there and help him with that. But maybe if all the stars align and everything's perfect, we can get up there for when he gets his next tank, which I believe is going to be a 10-footer. I just want to be there to see how they get it into the house. Because I've been in that house, and it's not like he lives in a little teeny tiny house or anything. But I just don't know how a 10-foot tank is going to get in there. That's going to be fun to see, whether I get to see it in video and his weekly updates, or I get to go there and see it in person. Either way is going to be amazing. So anyway, thank you, Bill Mason, for your service to this country. Thank you for your service to this hobby. Your whole life has been in service to other people. I appreciate that very much. And that's it. That is the fish tank news. So now's where the fun begins. I told you, Lisa's going to be talking about a fish that you've probably never heard of. So buckle up, get ready for this one. It's going to be a lot of fun. Push that fish profile button.
Hello. I just had to run a little marathon to get over here to my tank. But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and just kidding.
You're fired. Get out.
I had to say that just to mess with John.
Show's over.
But I wanted to talk about guppies today. It's not a fish that really needs a lot of explaining of how to take care of, I think, because honestly, I think it's probably the easiest beginner fish you could possibly get besides a goldfish or even a beta. But, you know, people struggle to take care of those too. So I thought I would not do that. I was about to say go ahead. Anyways, I thought I would talk about the guppies today because I have so many of them, and I really just wanted to share my experience because I know that I think I'm probably one of the lucky people that can keep guppies. I hear so many people say I can't keep guppies alive, and it shocks me because I don't have a problem keeping guppies alive, especially here. And I think so much of it has to do with the water. When we lived in King George, I tried to keep guppies. I got some really nice guppies from somebody, and they were absolutely amazing, but probably I don't know, 2 or 3 months went by and they weren't alive anymore. And I really feel like it had to do with the water. When I say that, I mean, when we lived in King George, I had discus and they did perfectly fine. The pH was a lot lower there, and they, the discus did amazing, but the guppies didn't. And then here, my discus didn't do so good, but I can't kill a guppy. I'm just going to be completely honest. There's no way. I've tried to experiment by putting them in different situations to see, if they'll still reproduce and everything. And I have not lost a guppy in any situation as far as that goes. Now, there's been certain things that have happened, like maybe putting them in with other fish that might kind of keep population control under control. But I've kept them in tanks with filters, no filters, heaters, no heaters. I've kept them with betas. And I used to always say, be careful keeping a guppy with a beta because they'll terrorize the guppies. But I really haven't found that too much in my experience, or at least I just haven't seen it, really just seen it. I'm not always up there looking in my tank to make sure they're not harassing them. But I think as far as the betas go, they're really good with population control, but they don't terrorize the adults, and that's good. So a beta, I'm going to talk about betas. Guppies do like a pH, probably I'd say you don't want to go under 7, but ideally a little higher. 7 to 8 is really good. As far as their heat, I'd say you're doing good anywhere from 72 to 82, and that is the really cool thing about guppies is, like I said, I've had them in situations where I have tanks that don't have heaters in them, and they do perfectly fine. But I also keep the room heated too, not just the tanks. So it's never under like 74. But on a super cold night, this is a really old building, it can probably get a little cooler. I don't, keep a thermometer out here to monitor the temperature. I just walk in. If it feels cold, it's cold. If it feels warm, it's warm. But I've had them out in the tubs, the stock tanks, and it has gotten a little chilly, and I know it's been under 72, and they've been fine until I've brought them in. So the cool thing in my experience with guppies is temperature fluctuation is usually not a problem. Now, the guppies that I have are hobbyist bred guppies. They're, I feel like, bulletproof. They're not the guppies that have been brought in and imported and, they've been messed with to get certain strains. These are just regular old guppies, and they're special to me because I'm pretty sure if you've watched a video or been on a live stream before, you know that the 2 female guppies I got from Diana Wellstead have given me thousands of guppies. So they are hobbyist bred for me. The cool thing is they'll eat anything. I can give them flakes. I can give them pellets. I've had them out in the stock tanks and fed them maybe once a week because they eat the the larvae and stuff from whatever bugs go out there in the stock tanks. But they're super cool. They're fun. They're colorful. They're active. They can be in. I've had them in 5-gallon tanks. A couple of them. I've had them in 10-gallon tanks. I have a 75-gallon all-male guppy tank that has probably 100 guppies in there, and I'm going to tell them, John, it's literally filtered with a shark Pro Nano 350 and 1 Airstone, and it's heavily planted. And there's snails, different snails. They do really well with the mystery snails, the nereid snails, the ram's horn snails. I've got them with cherry shrimp, amano shrimp. They are just super active and probably one of the funnest fish I've ever kept, just because they stay alive, and I love that so much. And you know what? If you do lose one and you have a bunch of stuff in there that will eat the body, you may never know if you lose one. Honestly, the snail or the shrimp will just eat it, and you'll never even know it's gone, because you've got so many more to replace them, because they just won't stop breeding. And the fun thing is, you can give them to your friends in the hobby, you can give them to pet stores, and it's just, they're a lot of fun. I'm not sure if I've covered everything, but I feel like I'm rambling now, so I'm going to stop talking about guppies and let you decide whether you want to get your own.
Oh, I guess I got to push a button, huh? Don't have a fancy intro yet for the Rate My Tank segment.
Yeah.
This one, I think a lot of people are going to be surprised. But before we get into that, I do have to let everybody know that this lady right here just lied to you in your face.
About what?
She looked in your face and she lied. You don't have a Shark Pro Nano 320 in that tank. You've got the Shark Pro Nano 250.
Is it
The
250?
smaller version.
Oh, well, it works really well. And people ask all the time, how's it do with shrimp? I don't want my shrimp to get sucked up in it and stuff. And just like guppies, I have a lot of shrimp. So
Father Fish, Lucas Bretz, and Alexander Williamson are all very, very pleased right now with that tank, even though we're not showing it. I mean, there's not a reason why we're not showing it. We could add it down the road as another set for Lisa, but it's right over there, and it looks really good, and it's got very little filtration in it except the plants, so gotta love that.
Plants.
Okay, Rate My Tank. A lot of people gave us crap last week for it.
I know, so I have to be mean now.
Well, so here's the thing. This is a segment where we have people send us video of their tank. We didn't have one for last week because nobody knew we were doing it last week. So I had Jason Adams send me a clip of his tank, and that's what we did the Rate My Tank on. That was just kind of like here's how we're going to do it. It was kind of like an entry run into it. And afterwards, I had to explain to this lady how this whole thing should be scored, because, we want to give everybody a 10 on everything, but that's just not realistic to be able to do that. But thankfully, this week we did get a submission. If you are someone that wants to have your aquarium featured on this segment, as long as we get tanks or videos, we're going to do this every week, because this is a lot of fun. And what I want to do is keep track of the scores, total up the scores, and then keep track of them. And after a month or so, a couple of months, quarter, I don't know, we haven't decided yet, give a prize to the person that has the highest score.
Yeah.
Jason Adams, I'm sorry, I love that guy, but he's not part of that. Mm-hmm. He's not going to be somebody that gets a prize for it. Again, he was just a trial run. So what we do is we take this video, we play it for you, and then we rate it. It sounded like I said grade it, on 4 different criteria. Those criteria are the equipment, the aquascape, the fish, and the overall presentation.
I feel like there should be one for I know we don't know how a fish feels, but is it a good tank for a fish? Even though for us, maybe we don't care how it looks, is it an appropriate setup for a fish?
Well, wouldn't that be kind of like on the overall presentation?
I guess it could be, and I think that's why yeah.
Overall presentation is basically everything else. We rate it on the equipment, the aquascape, the fish, and then everything else. And this week's submission, we don't say who it is until the end. And I haven't figured out if we're ever going to say who it is. And the reason why is I don't want people thinking that we're, playing favorites and all this kind of stuff, because the person who sent their tank in this week is somebody that's in the chat right now and is a regular on this channel. And we've met in person. He has one of Lisa's cats. So I don't want people to think that we play favorites. It's not like that.
Oh no, I'm definitely being super strict now. I can't be
You have to be.
I can't be like, oh, that's really great if it's not perfect. I have to keep that perfect tank up here in my mind and know that's what I have to go by. And if it's not that, it's not a 10.
A perfect tank is a 10, an average tank is a 5, and a dog poop tank is a 1 or a 0.
I will never rate that.
I can tell you this.
I will never do
I
that.
don't think if I got a video sent to me and it was one that I was going to rate with a 1, I don't even think I would waste my time doing it, because that's not fun.
Yeah, we don't want people to get made fun of.
No,
That's
that's
just
not
rude. That's chasing people right out of the hobby.
I'm not wanting to do that. I don't want to hurt anybody, but I also don't want to blow smoke up anybody's ass either. I mean, I want to be real. You can scoot over a little bit. We are married. We've been together a long time. You're like half on camera and half not.
With the chair.
Jeez, I need people to know you're with me so they don't start thinking they can.
Anyway, move along.
A girl like that with a guy like him, how'd he get so lucky?
Anyway.
So, if you want to send in your tank, kgboxesofwater@gmail.com. You're going to have to send it by way of like a Google Drive or something like that. That's what this person did. And yeah, that's how you do it. Please, if you could, send it as like an MP4 or a .mov,
There are
something.
some people that are like, I don't know what he's saying.
And that's fine. If you do it with your phone, it's pretty much going to be fine. But also, please film this way. Don't film upright like Bill Mason's video was. Bill didn't know I was going to be doing what I just did. So he just sent it for me, but I decided to share it with the millions that are watching this. But if you're going to submit a tank, film it this way. Don't do it vertical, because what are we, teenagers here? All right, let's play it. Oops, it's over here. This should be on loop, and we will be in the corner while it's happening.
Oh, did you see that cute betta fish?
So what we're looking at here is a 20 long. It is filtered by a Shark Pro 500,
Nice.
a Shark Pro Nano 320, and it has a Higer light on it. I do not know what type of a filter it is, or excuse me, a heater it is, but I think that's one of the Fluvals. I'm not certain of that. I think you can kind of see it in the background there, and it is a Fluval, I think. But if dude in the chat wants to, if he wants to say what it is, he can do that. It doesn't really matter. We've got Harlequin Rasboras, one little lonely chili Rasbora in there, which you can see. He's adorable. That's one little guy in there. 2 Cory cats that are hidden in the plants, assassin snails, and a half moon beta female named Looney. Now, the thing that jumps out to me, first of all, obviously is all the plants, because of course it is. Now see this guy, I did not put this on loop, so let me start it over again. He did not send me this video in .mov or MP4. So this is actually a screen recording of his video, and I forgot to put it on loop. Of course, the thing that jumps out is all of the live plants to me, but also the AT-AT, which since like 1984, I've always called AT-ATs. I've always called those AT-ATs, and I love AT-ATs. They were my absolute favorite thing about Star Wars. Not sure an AT-AT belongs in a aquarium because they are a winter device, winter transportation device, whatever you call it on Star Wars. But Empire Strikes Back, the best, obviously, that was ever made. And so the AT-AT, which I like to call AT-AT, is a great touch in there. How you feeling about, I'm not saying scores yet, but what jumps out at you with this thing?
I would say I love the plants. I love the plants because there's a lot of them in there, and I really do like that. You are a Star Wars fan. I'm a Star Wars fan, but I'm not a fan of people putting character type things in fish tanks. That's
Okay.
my thing. I love the little the
Little pipes.
yeah, I love the pipes, you know, for the fish to go through and everything.
Sorry. Had to do it. I had to do it.
Anyway, child. I feel bad for the two Corys because I feel like there should be like 4 or 5 more. I think I just saw a little cherry shrimp in there, super cute. So I would want more Corys. I would want more fish.
My theory is, and if I see he's in the chat. Listen, this doesn't need to be kept secret. It's Curtis Crump. This is Curtis Crump's tank. Curtis is a friend of ours. Like I said, he has one of Lisa's cats. We've met him in person when he came down to get Carla. He named her the female version of our cat because she kind of looks like her.
I already named her Carla.
She named her.
Yeah.
He kept the name. So yeah, he does hold a special place in our hearts, but we ain't going to take it easy on him for the scores. But what I think happened in Curtis, I had 2 more Corys and then I was just about to say, knowing Curtis, he probably started out with a group of Corys and he probably started out with a group of Chilies, and things happen. We all have aquariums. Fish die. We just found a dead fish today. I mean, things happen. And so we can't really ridicule anybody for that. And so, you know, started out with 4, 5, 6, and then now he's down to just a couple. That's fine. Yeah. So, okay, let's rate the equipment first. Now, some smartass last week said, I'm unsubscribing because you're going to give people high scores if they have Seche and if they have the title and all of this. And he's right. So bye-bye. That's exactly what we're going to do.
So
why?
You get a 10.
No, he doesn't get a 10, but listen, we are firm believers in particular products being the best for fish tanks. So if somebody has those, they're going to get scored very favorably by us because we happen to think that is some of the best filtration out there. So, but you know, a perfect 10 can't do that. I love the Seche internal filters. They're the best. But for the equipment, the Higer Light, the Seche canister or internal canisters, all the sharks and all that, I gave him a score of an 8. That is high, I know, but it's a score of 8 for the equipment for me.
Well, you're just a copycat because I said 8.
We have not compared our numbers together here. I watched this like twice. Once when he first sent it, and then the second time to do the screen recording. And I did all of my scores then, and there we go. I would love to do these Dave Portnoy style and rate them on the fly, but I don't have those kind of balls. Now the Aquascape. Now we have to be honest, don't we? I mean, I love AT-ATs, but it's an AT-AT in an aquarium. The plants look like they could use a little bit of love, Curtis, just a little bit. You know, I see some brown. I'm not ridiculing you, but we might want to get in there, do a little trimming. But the plants otherwise, they look great. And that's the way a live plant tank is supposed to look. I like it that way. I like it to be a natural look. And, so if it's natural, you're going to have some leaves that are withering. You're going to have some Java fern that have eaten leaves and stuff. It is what it is. I don't hate that at all. To me, I like that more than one that looks like it should be sitting in a museum. Oh. However, that's definitely a fluval heater now that I look at it. I gave this a 6 for the aquascape, mainly because there isn't a whole heck of a lot of aquascape. We've got the little pipes. We've got the AT-AT, which I like. She's a jerk and doesn't like the AT-AT. That's fine. But still a 6. That's what I'm going with for the aquascape. I'm sorry. I'm a jerk. I love you, Curtis. Take care of that dog. That cat, I mean.
Cat, dog. Jeez.
I don't know.
You're a stupid jerk. Just kidding. I gave you a 7 because I'm not a jerk.
She's not. She's very nice.
No, I like the plants. I think they look good and they're perfect. In my opinion, I think they're perfect for shrimp and snails because they'll take care of that part of it, and make it look, better. So, I mean, I would put more shrimp in there, even a couple snails. I don't know. Do you have snails in there?
I definitely saw. He's got assassin snails in there. He said it already.
But they're not going to, assassin snails are not going to eat plants, dead plants. They're going to eat,
other snails.
Yeah, live foods, not.
There's a snail right there.
Oh, okay. Good. I'm glad to see that then.
All right. So you gave it a 7. That's good. That's nice.
I know.
For the fish, now, I love the choice of fish. Mm-hmm. I love chili rasboras. I think we've looked at this on loop enough, don't you think?
Sure.
I love chilies. I love harlequins. We've been talking about harlequin rasboras on this channel for years. I love those fish. Mm-hmm. We've had a bunch of them. Love them very much. Cory cats, staple in the hobby. Come on. I mean, if you have a tank, a community tank, and you don't have Corys in it, then you're doing something wrong. You've got them in both of yours.
No,
right?
I just have them in my 125 planted tank. They like to stir stuff up, though.
Assassin snails. I mean, and when we're talking about the fish, we're going to include invertebrates and all of that. Two nerites too. Okay.
Well, that is good. They should be helping clean up stuff very well then.
So I did have to ding the fish though. But I understand, Curtis. I understand why the fish are the way they are. I am someone, when things are copacetic, I like to leave them that way. I don't like to mix things up and potentially add problems. So if I start out with groups of something and that group starts to dwindle down, there's a real good chance I'm not going to resupply that into there. African cichlids, yeah, because they're savages. But when it comes to community fish, it's like if things are going well and you lose a couple of fish, it's like I'm going to leave it alone. So I understand why there isn't that many fish in there. But Curtis, there needs to be more fish in there. We need more of them in there. I love the selection, but I wish there were more. And so because of that, I gave it another 6. Don't hate me, Curtis.
So I do feel like a copycat as far as needing more fish goes. But Curtis, if you were to say, I'm turning this just into a beta tank, I'd be like, whoa, that's the coolest beta tank. They're so...
Spoiled beta.
Yeah, spoiled beta. And I would give you a 10. I'd be like, well, that's perfect. But I do feel bad for the Corys. I feel like there should be a few more. But I understand why there's not, because you explained that. So that and a few more harlequins and the little chilies, a few more of those. But I would go overboard, just replace what you lost. But I'm sorry, I gave you a 6. But like I said, if you were to say it's going to be a beta tank, just a beta tank, and the other fish weren't in there, I'd have said a 10.
you know, if you threw 10 more chilies in there, that would have for me at least bumped you up to like a 7.5, maybe even an 8. But it's not that the fish are not healthy.
No, the fish
they
look
look great.
Yeah, the fish look very good.
I just wish there was more of them. So that's why 6 across the board there. Sorry, Curtis. Overall presentation. When you look at everything, okay, the low volume of fish, nice fish, but low volume of them, not a ton of aquascape, which I got to be honest with y'all. I like that a lot. I know I'm not scoring it super high. I didn't score the aquascape super high, but I like a tank that's nothing but just a buttload of plants. Mm-hmm. That makes me so happy to see that.
Even just easy plants.
My 20 gallon in my bathroom that I stare at every day when I'm in important business meetings, it's got 1 piece of driftwood in it now and a butt ton of plants. I just love that. So that's the look that Curtis has there. I like that. I like the AT-AT, but you know, and the lack of volume of fish overall. I love you, Curtis. I gave it a 6 overall. Now that's above average, Curtis, so don't get upset. That is significantly above average, and that's all men care about is being above average, right?
Oh boy.
That's what she said.
Okay. So, all right, as far as overall presentation, for me, I am, like I said, personally not a fan of things in tanks other than like what a fish could use to be happy and stuff. And sure, I'm sure that, you know, they could be happy in an AT-AT thing, but what do you call them? AT-ATs?
They're AT-ATs, but I call them AT-ATs.
Okay. It's just not my thing, but I'm not, you know, trying to be rude and say that I don't like your aquarium. If I were to walk into your home and see your aquarium, I would have been like, oh, what a cute aquarium. I love the fish. I love everything. And I would mean it. I really do. But if we're going to do this, you know, rating from a 10 as in like, whoa, my gosh, this is like an amazing aquascapers tank with everything perfect, I can't do that. So out of fairness, I have to be real. So that decoration kind of was a ding for me. And then I don't think you need a lot of fish or anything like that to make an aquarium an amazing aquarium and for the overall presentation. Like I said, if you just had 1 beta in there, I'd have been like 10. That would have been a 10 for me as far as fish goes. But I do feel like the Corys need a few more, you know, for them to be happy. That's just, you know, what they like. So when it comes to that and the decoration, I decided to give you a 6.
So 8666 for me. I didn't do that intentionally. I know that is the number of the beast. And 8766 for Lisa, which comes out to a total score, a grand score of 6.625.
And that's above average because
That's what she said.
I'm going to do that all night, y'all. And listen, that's the button that replaced the finish button.
Wow. I wish the finish button was still here.
Listen, I'm a 50-year-old child, okay? That just is what it is. So 6.625, Curtis, that ain't bad. And he is kind of setting the mark now, Curtis is. So if you want to see us do this with you, don't be weird. I didn't mean for that to sound weird.
Nobody thought that.
kgboxesofwater@gmail.com. Send that to us by way of Google Drive or whatever it is. Try to make it at least like a minute like Curtis's was. Curtis's video was great, giving us an idea of everything that you have in the tank. And then you might see yours on here. And if your score is higher than Curtis's, you might win a prize. You know, who knows? We're not going to do it every other week, but as we go, we accumulate these, that with the highest score is going to win a prize.
And I think it's good for people to understand that we all do things differently, and it doesn't mean that one tank is better than the other. It's, as far as your tank goes, as long as your fish aren't being mistreated, if you like it, that's all that matters. It doesn't matter what we think or anyone else thinks. So this is just for fun, not to pick on people or anything like that. So please send your tanks in. I think it's really good for people to see different ideas, you know?
And you know what? This is probably going to be my favorite segment every single week. If I don't get tanks sent to me, can't do it. I'm not going to rate all my tanks, because I'll rate all my tanks 5s, except for the Yellow Lab tank. That one would get a pretty good score, but all of the others would be, hers would get higher scores than mine, but it is what it is. All right. I created a new transition for this brand new segment that we're doing. We've only been doing this 3 weeks, so anytime we do one we haven't done, it's still brand new. Pay close attention to this this transition. It's going to be one of those that you're going to probably want to pause and rewind and all of that. If you want to, be my guest. Did you see them all? As a matter of fact, I believe the teacher's pet who became a channel member with us tonight is featured in that intro. What we're going to do, this might be a segment every week. I don't know. Today is kind of a long one, but I want to pick comments that stand out for whatever reason. They're not just comments on our live streams. These would be from anywhere on our channel. They could be good, they could be bad, they could be silly, or just make me butthurt. I don't know. It could be anything. If it stands out to me, we will select it and maybe talk about it. Or Lisa could talk about it. One of us will talk about it. Today, this comment is an interesting one. It comes from, I'm not trying to embarrass anybody, Ripsaw17. I'm not going to put this up on the screen because it would just be way too small and wouldn't be able to read it anyway. I'm going to really struggle to get through this because I think Ripsaw17 might be 17 years old, because he wrote this, and I'm assuming the way a 17 to 25-year-old writes these kind of things, no punctuation, no nothing. It's an entire paragraph that is one sentence. There's no way I'm going to be able to get all the way through it on one breath. But here we go. I got an ornate from the store. This was on a video. I don't remember what video it was from, but he's talking about an ornate biker. I got an ornate from the store. It didn't. See, I'm already struggling. I got an ornate from the store and didn't realize that he was going to be 3 feet when he's full grown. So hell be rehoused. I couldn't leave him at the store for someone to put them in a 4-foot tank. He's about 11 inches now in a 125, and he's going to be in a 180. And when he outgrows that, I'll find him a private pond to live out his life in, unless I had a 2,000-gallon aquarium. I would not have housed this fish or bought it, but because it was brought to the store, I couldn't leave it there for someone to put it in a small tank. Coolest looking fish, but this particular one shouldn't be in the hobby. It gets too big for a glass box. 36 inches is a massive fish for a tank. I see why people get this one. He's stunning, but needs a pond to be happy and have a quality life. There's so many things right and so many things wrong about this comment. Now, Ripsaw, I hope you're watching, and I hope you get something from this. I hope everyone gets something from this, because I want to use this as an example of something that happens regularly online that bothers me. It's not Ripsaw's fault. It's just something that's out there all the time. And it has to do with the title of this live stream. Don't be a hero. You might make yourself look dumb. I think that's how I titled this, something along those lines. Here's what happened, okay? Ripsaw went to the fish store, saw a cool fish and said, oh, that's a bad MFer right there. I want to take that bad boy home. And he said it all in one sentence without any punctuation. He said, I want to take that fish home with me. And so he did. And he brought it home and he put it in his tank that he knows is too small, but he knows he's going to be upgrading it. And if he doesn't get something bigger, he's going to put it in a pond to live the rest of his life. What we have happening here is this young man, again, I'm assuming young man, I hope I'm not misgendering anybody, it's 2024 after all, saw this fish and said, I gotta have it. And then started looking for reasons to justify buying that fish, when the only reason that should justify that purchase is the fact that you wanted that fish. And if you have it in a 125-gallon tank right now, you're doing so much better than most people would that buy that fish. He's right. Ornates get big, substantially bigger than other bikers. I don't know if they are the biggest one. I'm saying biker, you might call them Bashirs. We can call them whatever we call them and we can still be friends. But the ornate biker does get way bigger than others. I have 3 bikers that are swimming behind Lisa's head right now. I have an Enlicari, a Lepradi, and an ornate. The Enly and the Lepradi, Crab and Goyle are their names. They are the exact same size. They're about 20 inches long. They were about 15 inches long 4 years ago when we bought them. They are incredibly slow growers. Those 2 particular polypterus there. But the ornate grows way faster. I received my ornate biker, who I named Draco because Crab Goyle had to be Draco. He was half the size of the other 2 when I got him. He was a baby. And now he might be 50% larger than those other 2. We've had him for 2.5 years. So yeah, the ornates grow way faster. My other 2, I haven't even noticed they've grown at all. They grow so slow. It's one of those things. And nobody ever comes here. So it's not like anybody that saw them 3 years ago would come here and look at them and be like, oh my God, they're so big now. It doesn't work like that.
Which world came?
Well, he didn't say anything, so he hurt my feelings. But he was here when Eric Furlow gave me that biker as a gift too. Thank you, Eric, if you're watching. One of the best gifts I've ever gotten in my life. Except for the gift I got today. She let me buy my Christmas present early and it's, whoa. Anyway, dream come true. Nothing expensive or elaborate. I am satisfied by very simple things. Hit the that's what she said button. But anyway, listen.
Doesn't work.
You don't even know which button it is. That's probably a good thing.
No?
So you put yours in a 125 at 11 inches, which means good for you. Good job, Ripsaw. There's no problems with that. Is a biker, an ornate, going to be good for the rest of its life in a 125? No. I would rather see it in at least 8 feet, but I mean, listen, we all can't have a perfect scenario for everything. But here's what I have a problem with, okay? This is why we're talking about Ripsaw here today. Not to ridicule or anything, not to make fun of the punctuation, but to talk about somebody that says, I bought that fish because if I didn't, somebody else might have bought him and taken him home and put him into a tank that's too small. So I saved that fish. But you did no such thing because you bought it and took it home and put it into an aquarium that you admit is too small. You're trying to make yourself look like a hero, and it's not necessary. Buy what you want to buy. If you like that fish, get it. I'm not saying if you like Oscars and all you have is a 10-gallon tank, go get that. But I'm saying if you have a fish that can house, or if you have a tank that can house a fish for years, then you're good. You don't have to justify it and try to make yourself look like a hero, because you might end up making yourself look dumb. You want to know why you might have made yourself look dumb, Ripsaw? Did you buy up all the Oscars? Because people might take them home and put them in 10-gallon tanks. Did you buy up all the goldfish? Because, people put those in bowls. Bet you didn't do that, did you? I'm not coming down on you, Ripsaw. What I'm saying is, what you said was really dumb. It makes you look really dumb, and you don't need to do that. All you need to do is say, hey, guess what? I saw that jackass at the store, and I was like, that is the coolest fish I've ever seen. I got a 6-foot tank at home, which is better than what most people are doing. I'm going to buy that bad boy right now, and I'm going to take it home, and you know what? I'm going to be proud of it, and I might name him Draco, because all hail Slytherin. But listen, that's all you have to say. You don't have to try to make yourself out to be a hero. Buy the fish, enjoy it. You're obviously a fan of that fish. Don't start making up dumb stories that I don't want somebody to buy that and put it in a 4-foot tank, because you left a lot of fish at that fish store that need to be put in big tanks. You didn't buy all them. That's just silly. We don't need to do this. We don't need to make ourselves look like heroes. It's a common thing in the social media world these days, is people trying to be heroes. That's why you see so many videos out there with I rescued all of these, because that's a hot button word that people use. I'll be looked at as a hero if I say rescued, and it's just silly. You bought fish. Knock it off. You're not a rescue. Ohio Fish Rescue that travels around the country and picks up big fish that have been abandoned and stuff like that, that's rescuing fish. But buying I don't even know what, and putting it in your aquarium at home, it's not rescuing a fish. If you buy a sick fish at the store, that's not rescuing the fish. You bought a sick fish. Good for you. I would do it too. We've done it many times. Remember, Bubbles? It makes you feel good. But we don't need to start advertising it on social media that we rescued or we bought this fish, because we wouldn't want somebody to buy it and put it in a 4-foot tank. So I took it home and put it in my 6-foot tank, which I know is too small, but I'm going to put him in a pond someday. Come on. We don't have to do that. Ripsaw, if you're watching this, thank you for buying one of the coolest fish in the hobby. Thank you for putting it in a tank that it can be in for years and years. You are going to love that fish. And please send me pictures, because ain't too many fish prettier than ornate bikers. All bikers. But ornates, they're absolutely adorable. So there, yeah, I could rant about this all night long, but I'm not going to, because it's time for us to give away what we were talking about giving away last week. Push the coming soon button. Oh, whew, had to run a marathon to get over here. It's literally on the other side of the table.
Yeah.
All right, so we have a little complication here when it comes to the giveaway. Here's what I said to you last week. I didn't lie to you. I told you what I thought was going to work. I asked you yesterday, anybody else watch Yai? I love that guy's channel. I said to go to last week's live stream and comment on that live stream, and that will automatically enter you into this giveaway. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to that live stream. I'm going to put it into a random comment picker and have that pick a winner for an AquaClear filter. And whoever wins it gets whatever size AquaClear they want.
That's what she said.
Bravo. She pushed the button that time, not me. Look at him swimming up and down. What a weirdo.
I tried so many times to push the button when you were up there, and it wouldn't work.
I wonder why.
It said mute.
Oh, I wonder why. I didn't mean, I'll have to switch that. Maybe it's because I didn't want you trolling me while I was up there. So it turns out that even replay live streams cannot be put into these random comment pickers. I did a lot of research over the last week. looking for a random comment picker that can actually pick live on a YouTube live stream. I haven't found any. I don't know if one exists. I know they have them for Twitch and stuff like that, but YouTube, it's just not there. And even literally the website is randomcommentpicker.com. And there's another one, Raffles, I think, is another one. Even if you go to those and you post the link of your live stream that is a replay live stream, it doesn't recognize it. So there's no way to do that. So, I inadvertently lied to you. I said that word very well.
Yeah.
It was a
You did.
beautiful delivery of a complicated word.
You lied, and then you were like just making up things. You're like, this is what we're going to do because this is what I want to do, and I think this can be done, so I'm just going to tell everybody this is what we're going to do. And you didn't even know.
I know. It's
You should
shameful.
definitely, it's like putting something together without reading the directions. And then you have to take it apart and read the directions to put it back together the right way. You should do your research first. Isn't that what you always tell people before they buy fish? Yeah.
I don't always practice what I preach. I do when it comes to fish, but not when it comes to anything else. But here's what I want to try to do. I've never done this, and this scares me a little bit, but let's see. Okay, yeah. So there we go. What I'm doing is sharing my screen with you. And we
So
have...
do I just pick whoever I want?
Well, no, the way I thought about doing it. So now, see, you see me scrolling through. You can't see my mouse cursor. That's unfortunate. But the reason why I'm scrolling all the way to the bottom is to show you the comments. There's Ben Ochart. He's going to steal our strategy here. Shocker. I'm just giving Ben a hard time. I like Ben a lot. He's a good dude. The reason why I'm scrolling all the way down to the bottom is because I wouldn't be able to do what I want to do if all of the comments aren't exposed. A lot of people went to the chat or went to there and commented. Some of them even commented, I'm doing this just to be entered. So the way I'm going to do it, I think you're just going to have to kind of trust me on this. I'm just going to, I'm on a MacBook Pro right now. So 2 fingers swiping down on the trackpad makes it scroll real fast. I'm going to do that, and it's going to go, whoosh, and then whoever it lands
Just like
on,
that?
it's going to make that noise too. We can use that sound effect.
Cool.
Whoever it lands on, that's going to be who is selected to win the Aquaclear. What size Aquaclear? Whatever size you want.
I'm so excited for everybody.
So it's kind of unfair to do it this way because the first people, they're not in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think you should do it. You should just...
Oh no, is that because I said go to the first stream?
We both did, yeah.
Because you didn't read directions and research and know.
Exactly. Yeah, I made it up on the fly, and I apologize
And
about
there's
that.
no way to get people to go do it right now?
No.
I guess we know for the future.
Yep.
Where's the button?
Well, all we're going to have to do here, so what you're going to do, you can take your 2 fingers, put them anywhere on this trackpad, and then
Yep.
just swipe down, whatever and you know what? I can cover your eyes, and you can just go up and down, go a bunch of times. That'll be the good way.
Like this?
Yep, she's not. Oh, look at her. She's trying to look.
No, I'm not.
I'm not touching her because she has makeup on.
Oh
No,
my gosh.
up and down, 2 fingers at the same time.
Okay. Now what?
Now, not going. No, don't go side to side.
Oh, sorry.
Go up and down.
Up and down.
Stop. Yeah, she's not looking. You can see she's not looking.
All right.
Keep
now.
going. Now keep. Yep.
up,
Oh, there.
down,
Now,
up,
perfect.
up,
All right.
up, down, down.
Now, wherever you want to stop, whoever the cursor is on,
Did I do it?
she stopped all the way at the
Do it?
bottom.
I did.
You did, and that's good because we were thinking that they weren't gonna be included. You guys rock. Thank you so much for keeping the hobby going. Guyet 660. If you are in the chat right now, you are going to be the winner. And you actually saw the cursor on there. I didn't realize that. That's good. That's good that... Okay, can we... I don't know how to move this now. That's one of the things that really bothers me about I love Ecamm, but I also don't. So, what was
Now
the
what?
name? Guyet something I said?
Well, I don't see them saying.
Guyet 660. If you are in the chat, speak up, because guess what? You are the winner.
And if you don't say something in like the next 2 minutes, then I have to do that all over again with 2 fingers.
That's what she said.
All right. I do not want to just sit around here and wait for this person to respond. So what we're going to do is we're going to give this person another 30 seconds, and then we are going to then we're going to have to move on, find somebody else. And while we're doing that, I will say thank you to
Oh, yeah, we need to thank some people.
Luke Abbott became a member. Welcome to the team. Finsanity said, your first week with your new internet, and we're all posting buffering. How dare you? You are no friend of mine. John, the new AC series are awesome. Title who? You're trying to piss me off, Joe, because he said something about that in his email to me too, because he ordered like all the Aquaclears. And I was like, what do you mean no titled S word? And so, yeah, you're trying to start a fight, Joe. And you'll probably win because I'm a big softie. But I don't know what you're talking about. Titles are 1, Aquaclears are 2, and I'll say it to your face. I don't care that you wore our shirt in our wedding. I'll still say it to your face. Your wedding, not mine. Your wedding. Again, say it to your face. Sarah the Great became a member. Welcome to the team. Dennis, you thought you were going to get me. McKelvey, that's just how I'm going to say it. Gifted 5
Thank
memberships.
you.
That
That's
is awesome. All of those free members now, along with Sarah the Great and the Teacher's Pet. Luke Abbott, 5% off of our website all the time, no matter what, whether we're running any specials or anything like that. Check the members community section, and you'll see the post on the 1st of every month with the new code on there to get you 5% off the website. That's just one of the perks. We've got some ideas of things coming up. Hip Hop Anonymous or Hip Hop Hillbilly said, trying to send video through Gmail, but it says it can't be over 26.2, 30 seconds or 52 MPS. Not sure if you want a 14. So yeah, Hip Hop Anonymous. That's why I said it's going to have to be sent through Google Drive. It should give you that as an option to send it by way of Google Drive. If it doesn't, just do a search. How do I send videos through email? I can't explain it all to you while we are here. So, nothing yet?
No.
We didn't get anything from Guy yet? All right.
Do it
You're
again.
You're going to have to pick
I'm
another
ready.
one.
I'm ready. I'm going to.
There's the chat. Isn't that cute? Everybody can see the chat.
Okay. I'm going to use these 2 fingers this time.
Okay, you're
so
not
I can
looking.
do it like this. Okay. Everybody can
Scrolling,
see
scrolling. Yep, everybody can see it.
Okay. Don't tell me where it's at.
Don't-
I just want to keep going where I'm going.
Don't only push up. Push.
I'm doing what I want.
Okay, but you're off of it now, so. Okay, now start again. People are seeing their names and they're like, oh, that's me. Oh, stop. Oh, stop. I really hope it's somebody that's in here.
Did I do it?
Okay, there it is.
Who is it?
Noel Brooker,
Oh,
135.
okay.
Fun stream, love the new structure.
I don't know if
So
she's been in
hopefully-
here tonight, though.
Hopefully that is someone that is in the chat this time. If not, we're going to have to go to numbers. We're going to have to go to pick a number. And I don't like that at all. I think that's dumb and silly and also stupid.
Would I do that?
So, well, when you do that, I think it's dumb and silly and stupid.
Oh, well, not the winners.
So I'm going to say Noel Brooker I think that's what it is. We're going to give Noelle a second
I've
to
seen her
respond.
in streams before, so.
Uh,
Yeah, she's here. Hooray. Thank you guys so much. Been looking and getting ready for dinner. Awesome.
That is amazing. Amazing. I can't get back to the chat now.
Well, she is here and she did respond. So she gets it. So we'll have her email kgtropicals@gmail.com and let us know what size you want.
Yes, that is exactly what you'll do. I hope you live in the United States because I don't think I made that clear. And it would really be nice if you were already a customer because then I've already got your information, but I'm just joking. If you're not, just send along your info, where you live and all of that. And we'll ship it out tomorrow. She'll ship it because she packs orders on Fridays. Mm-hmm. So I am glad we worked that out. Oh, of course I did that.
Did you push finish somewhere?
No. All right, that's my camera. That's this one. This is all right.
Oh, so we're not live?
No, we are. We're still live. I just have to
Can people see us?
redo this. Yeah, I'm sorry folks. I have to
No, they can't.
Yeah, I know. So, there we go. I guess I'm just going to have to leave this in there. I don't know how to remove it yet. That's kind of annoying. Don't be looking at any porn sites because people are going to be able to see it.
Seriously? Jeez.
I don't know how to get rid of this. When I try to X out of it, okay, here's how we do it. This is how you do it. I think this is how you do it on Ecamm. Now, if I do this.
Don't do that.
Nope, that didn't work.
You just made us go away.
All right. Well, we're just going to have to do it like this, and we're just going to keep this here. Why not? I mean, you can see the chat. So what? Who cares? All right. Oh, it's time to do the product spotlight. That'll be fun. I have no preparation for that whatsoever, but it's okay because I'm a pro. Yeah. You already saw it. You already saw it in Curtis Crump's tank. 6.625 score of that tank. Well done, Curtis. That's a good score. You saw this in there. Why? Because it's a great filter. Lisa just told you she has a Shark Pro Nano 250. She told you 320. She boldly lied to your face. It's actually a 250. I don't know why they did 250 and 320. I think they should have done 220 and 320 or 250 and 350. Maybe it has something to do with liters, which I don't really understand. I don't know. Who cares? This is a 250, and then there is the 350, which has an extra cartridge and a little bit more powerful pump. This, folks, when we're talking about nano tanks, I'm sorry. I am not a fan of sponge filters in nano tanks. Why? Because there's not a whole lot of room in there to begin with. If you are a nano tank keeper and you have one of those teeny tiny sponge filters in there, good for you. I'm not making fun of you. I'm just saying I prefer something like this. It's up out of the way because it attaches with magnets, not suction cups. It attaches to the glass with magnets, and you don't have that valuable space that is very valuable in a nano tank because there's not much of that space. You don't have that taken up by a big, ugly sponge filter. Instead, you can mount this sideways across the top and put the spray bar on it sideways, so you still get that. You can put it on the side, you can put it wherever you want, and you're not losing that valuable space. I absolutely love that. I am not somebody that's going to tell you sponge filters are bad. I've never said that. In fact, I think sponge filters are great, and I think they have their place. But if you have a fancy showpiece of a tank that you take a lot of pride in and you love it and you want it to look perfect, I don't think you're going to want to give up that valuable space on the substrate for a sponge filter. On the topic of sponge filters, we're going to be doing a product spotlight in the very near future they're on order. They're coming to us. We're bringing in new sponge filters, and I'm very excited about it. Guess what they are? They're the best in the industry, period. I'm sitting here talking about sponge filters that I don't like them in nano tanks, but then I'm telling you we're bringing in more sponge filters. Anyway, who cares? Yeah, okay. This is what happens when you do this live. Things fall apart. They don't fall apart when they're in your aquarium. This is better looking. It doesn't take up the valuable space on the bottom of your tank that a sponge filter will. And I don't care what you say. I don't care what you think. I'll say it to your face. It is more efficient than a sponge filter is. Why? Because it's actually drawing that water through. It has flow control on it. You can clean out the sponges. You can add biomedia if you want to. This already has one of those charcoal infused sponges. I happen to be a fan of charcoal, or whatever, carbon, call it whatever you want to call it. I'm a fan of using that in aquariums. I do think it works, but I've also been keeping tanks since 1993. And in 1993, if you put up a tank and it didn't have carbon in it, you would get made fun of. That's just how it was back then. So everybody used it back then. Now, a lot of snobs are like, you don't want to put it in these circumstances. I like carbon. This has it already. Comes out of the box with the carbon infused sponge on it. So you get more than what you get with a sponge filter. Sponge filters are great, but you're really getting biomedia and mechanical filtration. And it's just one way. You can add additional biomedia to these things if you want something like a matrix or a purigen or something like that. If you want to add those, I might have just lied to you. I'm not exactly sure how you would add purigen. You'd need a really, really little bag, but there's also CJ has the BioPearl, the little teeny biomedia balls. Those are great. You can do those things with these, and you cannot do those things with sponge filters. So you have options, you have flow control, you have all of that. You can mount it sideways, you can put it up in the corner. All of the options, all of the reasons why these are great. And while we're on the topic of nano tanks, there's another thing. This is just, she told me I should do this while we're talking about nano tanks. Buy one of these right along with it, the little CJ Jolly preset heaters. These are perfect, and they go perfectly with these filters. Forget about it. Put them next to each other like that. Come on, get out of here. I don't care who you are. That is a better looking setup than a sponge filter. And like I said, I like sponge filters, but I like those better, especially if it's a tank that you want to look really, really good. There's just a certain amount. I took points off of Jason's tank last week for those sponge filters, didn't I? You know I practice what I preach. I don't hate the filtration. I just don't like the way they look in an aquarium if you want it to look really nice. So yeah, we're going to be giving these away. Are we doing these next week, or which one are we doing? Are we doing the
Ultra Zero because it's Thanksgiving? Ultra Zero.
Just the Ultra Zero. Your
And
microphone is working. So okay.
Oh yeah.
So
sorry.
we'll do two giveaways next week. So next week, because this is what I did last time. I didn't do a product spotlight last week, but the last product spotlight that I did was on the Aquaclear, and then we gave one away. So we're going to do that here. I was actually on the phone with Jay Wilson 20 minutes before this live stream started.
Oh.
We're going to give away this combo right here, a Jolly and a Shark Pro Nano. These are available in 3 different sizes.
When are you doing that?
Okay. So we're not talking about doing this and the okay. You're only talking about the Ultra Zero next week. Okay. So I lied to you.
And Northfin.
There's been a lot of lying going on in this stream tonight.
I wrote it down.
You wrote it down. I watched you while I was here while she wrote it down. Anyway,
That's going to be for another giveaway.
so 2 weeks from now,
Yeah.
we'll be giving those away. Don't worry about going back to this on replay and commenting on it. That didn't really work out, even though I think it was adorable the way Lisa picked the winners. We're going to figure out a different way to do giveaways. I don't know what it's going to be, but in 2 weeks, we're going to give away the Shark Pro Nano and the Jolly, whichever sizes you need. The Jollies are available in 3 different sizes. The Shark Pro Nanos are available in the 2 different sizes, the 350 and the 350 and 320 and the 250. Come on, CJ, just have some consistency there. 500, 700, 900. Why couldn't it have just been easy like that, like the Shark Pros are? But anyway, we're going to be giving those away in 2 weeks. Next week, we're going to give away a really nice pack of Northfin fish food. Got a box from them earlier this week that they sent us for the purposes of doing giveaways. They donated a bunch of memberships last week too. Love the support from Northfin. So we're going to share that with you next week. Yes, Thanksgiving night, we will be live streaming because Lisa and I are just going to be here by ourselves. The kids don't come till that weekend. So we got the night free. We might as well stream for you. And we're going to give away a CJ Ultra Zero. Those are high demand pumps that a lot of people love. So we're going to give both of those away
I
next
changed
week.
my entire snail tank room with an Ultra Zero.
And I do all of these tanks with an Ultra Zero. It's the best. It will change your life when it comes to water changes. So I think it's time now to push the creator shout out button.
Oh.
There's
Sorry.
Oh.
I forgot to push the button.
I thought you were with me, and I moved the camera over here. Not a whole lot to see in the saltwater tank because all the fish are hiding. There are a few fish in there, I promise. One of them's way over there. And anyway, I want to talk to you tonight about a channel that I have talked about in the past. This is a channel that means a lot to me, and I've actually been there and hung out with these guys. They're amazing folks, and the purpose of their channel is to spread love and to spread hope and spread therapy to as many people as they possibly can. So if their message is that, I want to contribute to that as much as I can. I'm talking about my friends at Sick Psyche, Mike and Will. These guys, I went up there, spent a weekend up there, one day at one guy's house, the next day at the next guy's house, and it was amazing. I had such a good time. It also made me really mad because their tanks look so much better than mine. Big things are going to be happening with this tank real soon. There's my magnificent fox face, by the way. There's going to be something happening with that tank very soon that you're going to want to see. If you're not subscribed to the channel, do that. But I'm not talking about my channel right now. We're talking about Sick Psyche because these guys are both military veterans. One of them is still currently active military. The other is a retired veteran, and he's also still working as a civilian for the government, still committed to service of this country. I can't tell you what his job is, but it's really, really important. That's all I'm going to tell you. And so these are guys that have dedicated their lives to this country, and in the dozens of years that they've been in and the dozens of deployments that they've done, they've seen everything. They've seen everything that people don't want to see. One of the guys has like over 3 years. Will has over 3 years being deployed. I mean, these guys have been there, done that. They've seen it all. They know what veterans go through. And so what they've done is they've teamed up on the channel Sick Psyche to spread this message to other veterans. Why? Because the hobby has impacted their lives in such a beautiful, beautiful way. It's given them something to escape all of that. And that is what, you know what I'm talking about when I say all of that. I'm not going to tell their stories for them. If you want to hear their stories, I did do videos with both of those gentlemen a few weeks ago. Again, part of our Boxes of Water series. I am a big fan of these guys. I'm a big fan of their tanks. We helped them get over that 1,000 subscriber mark, which makes me really, really happy. Mike actually messaged, very thankful that they surpassed that milestone. Really happy for those guys. But I could not be more in more support for what they're doing. And I think that you will also want to support them. And the great thing is you can support them just by subscribing to their channel if you're interested in that kind of stuff, and also sharing their channel with other people, because the more exposure their channel gets, the more YouTube will push it out, and the more potential veterans will see their channel and possibly get helped by it, because exposure to this hobby has changed a lot of veterans' lives, and that's why they're doing it. They're not doing it to make money. They're not doing it for any of those things. If they made money from it, they would probably put it right back into programs to help out veterans. That's the way these guys are. I have the highest level of respect for anyone that serves this country, and a super high level for those guys. So Sick Psyche, I did put the link down in the description below. Check them out. If you want to know a little bit more about them, watch those videos that I did with them a few weeks ago. Lisa wasn't able to make the trip, and she was so bummed because I had a great time up there without her. But
Oh, wow.
because those
Nice.
guys are great. They're awesome to hang out with.
They are. They were. I saw the videos, and I am bummed that I didn't get to meet them.
It was a blast. I loved it. I can't wait to hang out with them again because they live where I grew up. So it's easy for me to get up there and hang out with them. And they've also said that it's funny. They're both from North Carolina and they live in Virginia.
Yeah.
I am from Virginia. We are from Virginia and now live in North Carolina. So we just swapped states. That's all it is.
Yeah.
But they pass through here all the time to go to their hometown. So hopefully one of these days they'll be here
Yeah.
and they'll do videos with us here.
And they can rate your takes.
Oh, I don't want them to do that because I'd get mad and they can both easily kick my butt. So, and listen, if you want to have an even higher level of respect for what these guys are doing, I am not making this up. I swear to you, this is a fact. Will, the gentleman that I did second, I went to him the day 2, 7 days before I was there, had brain surgery.
Oh.
Yeah. And he was like, well, I couldn't cancel this. So he got up off the couch. He was recovering and he did that video with me. And when you watch it, you would never know that anything ever happened. So yeah, big props to those guys. Highest level of respect. Thank you for your service. And I thank you for checking out their channel. So you need to push Lisa's World.
So I'm a little out of breath. I had to run a mile to get here, and my finger has a cramp from pushing the buttons. But anyways, this is about Lisa's World. And just like last week, all I've been doing is working in the fish room, working in the snail room, packing orders. But I did get to have a little bit of fun last weekend. Friday, when I was done packing orders, I went up to Virginia and I stayed with my daughter overnight, her and my granddaughter. Her and her other half and their daughter, they're getting a new home. And they bought their first home. They're super excited about that. And they move this weekend coming up. So I went up there to help them pack. And that was fun. It was a lot of fun. I tell you what, Izzy is hilarious. That's my granddaughter. If you've been around for a while, you know she's 1.5, and last year when she was born, she had to have surgery when she was 3 months old to remove a tumor from her intestines around there in that area. Everything ended up working out fine. It was benign. There was nothing to be concerned about as far as that goes. And she healed up very well, and it didn't stop her at all. She is 1.5 and can say her ABCs pretty much. I mean, she sings the song and says her ABCs, counts to 5, can say what colors are which. She'll say blue, and it's hilarious. She's just so smart. And my daughter has a cat named Nula, and Izzy will come up to me and get my hand and she'll say, pet it, pet it. So she makes me pet the cat, and she loves for you to pet stuff. So she'd bring me a little puzzle piece of a shark. Pet it. It was funny. But anyways, it was a lot of fun. I had a great time visiting with them and just catching up, spending mother-daughter time with my daughter and my granddaughter. That was great. It was only for 24 hours, but it was a great time, and we got a lot packed up. So that is pretty much it for Lisa's world as far as like something different than what I normally do. I did go to the gym twice this week. I'm trying not to beat myself up over going 5 days a week or anything. I feel like if I can go 3 times in 1 week, then I'm doing good and I'm bettering my health and I'm doing something to better me, because it makes me feel better mentally, physically. It's just something to do. Like, I'll go there and I'll walk on the treadmill, and I have one. I have a treadmill in my house. But it's just going and being around other people that want to better themselves. It's awesome. And I've been doing a lot of weights, weightlifting, toning up and doing all that. So it just feels good. And I feel better at the end of the day for doing it. But yeah, I would say that's it for Lisa's World.
All right, we're a little bit pressed for time here, so I'm going to make John's World quick like Lisa made Lisa's World quick. She mentioned that she was at our daughter's house last Friday night, which meant I was home alone. And we all know what happened Friday night, right? I watched something Friday night that made me very, very sad, but then I was very, very inspired. And I know there's a controversy going on right now, and there's people talking about it right now as if it was rigged and all this kind of stuff. I don't care about all that nonsense. I'm talking about the Mike Tyson fight. Jake Paul, Mike Tyson. I am 50 years old, which means I watched Mike Tyson in his prime. Every single one of his fights. I had a box that got me free pay-per-view. I'm not going to lie to you. I got them all for free, and it was great. The Lennox Lewis fights, the Evander Holyfield fight. I watched Buster Douglas when he lost there. I watched when he fought, what was it, Peter McNeely or whatever, and knocked him out in 30 seconds or what. All of the Mike Tyson fights I watched. I was a fan of that guy because I'm 50. Everybody that's my age was a fan of that guy, and I was terrified to see him get in the ring again. I watched him fight a couple of years ago, Roy Jones. That was, come on. It's like, what are you doing? And this one was even worse. But I walked away from it inspired. While I'm watching it, if anybody else watched it, I mean, you get to watch it for free, so I'm sure a lot of people watched it. There was the whole thing with the biting the glove, and the commentator was adamant that, oh, that's a Mike Tyson thing. He does it all the time. I've never seen him do that. That was weird to me. That was like a baby cuddling up to its whoopee. I've never seen Mike Tyson do that. Maybe I just wasn't paying attention. I don't know. Or his fights were so short, I just never noticed. That just was weird to me. You could tell in the first round, he was you know what I'm saying? Like, you could tell age had caught up to him. I'm one to talk. I mean, I couldn't have done what he did. No way. And I was very sad because it was like, this is one of the greats. If not, I believe if he didn't have his whole thing in his life happen that sent him away for a few years, I think he would be right now unanimously the best that's ever done it. I don't think anybody would even argue. And to see him be what he was in that ring, it just made me so sad. And I was texting Lisa while it was going on, like, this is just sad to watch. But then I thought about it at the very end, and I was like, hold on. This is a 58-year-old man that just stood toe-to-toe for 8 rounds against a 27-year-old that's practically a professional boxer now. I know a lot of people don't call him legit and all that, but hey, you go do what Jake Paul does. You might not like him as a person, but the dude can fight, and he's a master promoter, and he's a master at making money. It doesn't matter. This was a 58-year-old man. I don't care that it was Mike Tyson. It's not Mike Tyson anymore. And he was out there for 8 rounds and did not go down. And he was wobbly, but he made it through the whole thing. That was very inspiring to me, because I'm sitting here complaining, oh, my back hurts. And oh man, I woke up this morning, I got a sprained ankle. I must have slept too hard. I'm sitting here complaining, and that man's going in the ring for 8 rounds, going up against somebody half his age. I don't know how he did it. I got all the respect in the world. I know how he did it. There was a $20 million payday at the end of the day. I probably could have done it for that too. But the point is, the fact that he was even able to do it, I thought was just powerful. And it was very cool to see. And I texted her at the end of the fight, and I said, this is the saddest thing I've ever seen, but also one of the most inspiring things I've ever seen. And just to wrap it up, I don't know about you, but I loved when Jake Paul stepped back and bowed to him at the end of the fight. I thought that was classy. I thought it was awesome. And bravo to you, Jake Paul. Go get your money, boy. I think that's awesome. Can I borrow a few bucks? That'd be nice. All right. True or false time.
Ooh.
The question that oh no, I didn't mean to do that. Hold on. Let me go back to this.
Buttons again.
Yeah, I'm screwing it all up. Where did the, okay. Adding more filtration media will provide more beneficial bacteria. I'm so glad these results are what they are. We had, and this is, I didn't realize this until I was actually putting it up today. I consulted Jason Adams, the professor. I said, hey, I'm not really sure how to word this, because it may come across as kind of a trick question. I'm not trying to trick anybody. I told him what the premise of it was, and he actually said word for word, why don't you put adding more filtration media will provide more beneficial bacteria. 32% of the people voted true. 23%, it's not voted, answered false.
I did that.
You answered false? Okay.
I answered false.
And 45% said maybe, depends. I have a feeling if I had only had true or false on there, it would have been 32 to 68. 68% false. Because here's the thing. Beneficial bacteria in an aquarium, folks, it grows as much as it needs to. Once it grows to a level where it can handle the load of the tank, it doesn't just keep growing. It doesn't just grow to infinity. So the more and more and more and more you add to it, the more bacteria you're going to get. So in that kind of a situation, the answer is false, and you would have been right. Congratulations. However,
you don't have to tell me.
However,
I'm right.
If you're somebody that has very little biomedia in the tank, very little surface area for the growth of bacteria. Now, we all know that eventually you can have a bare bottom tank with nothing in it, and eventually the bacteria will colonize enough to take care of the cycle in an aquarium, even if there's nothing in it. But in a situation like that, where you have very little biomedia for the growth of bacteria and you add more, if there's not enough in the tank, that biomedia will serve a purpose, and there will be more that will grow, and it'll grow to accommodate, or however much it needs to accommodate the load that's in the tank. So in that situation, it's true. And that's why I told Jason, I was like, this is kind of a trick question because it could go either way. And he's the one that suggested adding the maybe, it depends, because that's exactly what I just explained. Whether this is true or false or not is going to be dependent on what you have going on in your aquarium. If you already have an adequate amount of biomedia in there for the cycle to happen, then you're not, it's going to serve no purpose at all to add a bunch more biomedia. So let's say you have a FX6 and it came with those bio rings or the little pipes. I don't know what they call them. And your canister has an adequate supply, the amount in there that came with the filter. But you have that on a 400-gallon aquarium. There might not be enough bacteria just in there. So if you added more, you probably would grow more bacteria.
So what you're saying is I should take that sponge filter out of my other tank and stick it in there to help.
No, because here's the thing. If your aquarium is cycled,
I know.
you don't need more biomedia.
Oh, I was talking about an uncycled tank though.
Oh, well, yeah, we're not talking about how to cycle a tank. You're absolutely right. I mean, you're starting from scratch. You have a tank that has a sponge filter in it that's already seeded. That's what we all call it. Then, yeah, absolutely. Adding that will definitely help out. Adding biomedia will definitely help facilitate the growth of bacteria because bacteria needs to grow in that tank. But if you have a tank that's 3 years old, you haven't lost a fish in a year, everything's balanced out, you don't even really have algae anymore, everything's great, you're living the good life, and you're like, that salesman said, or that YouTuber said, or that rep said that I should add this biomedia because it's great, it's the best in the business, it's going to serve no purpose for you whatsoever. And I have very good friendships with a lot of people that work for these manufacturers, and if they're watching this, they're like this right now. John, what are you doing? They don't want anybody to hear this, but it's true. I mean, if your tank is doing great the way it is, then your answer should have been false. But there's really no correct answer here because all three answers are correct. And if I hadn't had the maybe depends option, if it had just been true or false, both of them would have been right because it would have completely depended on what is going on in your tank. So right. I love that. I think that's the best true or false question we've had so far because it is one for discussion and it's already 8:47. So we ain't got time to talk about it anymore, but that could be a topic for an entire live stream. Before we get into the thank yous,
okay,
I do want to address a couple of things real quick here because we did have some super chats that came through and I do not want to miss those. Mr. Skippity-Doo said, Skippity-Doo-Dah, excuse me, please address rescuing betas from the little cups. All you're doing is sending the store message to restock more of those little cups into the store. 100%, you're absolutely right. That goes back to the I love the comment section segment that we had. That's absolutely true. However, you could say the exact same thing about Oscars. You could say the exact same thing about goldfish. They do it with all of them. An Oscar in a 10...
But you hear so many people do videos. I rescued all these betas from Walmart or Petco and, just to get
views on YouTube.
And attention. But...
And that is 100% true.
But the thing is, I think so many people have been in that situation because that's how I got Bubbles, and it's like you see this poor little fish, it's not doing that good in a cup and you want to do anything and everything you can to help it. And yeah, I get that. But you're helping that one fish. But that's it. You're really not helping any of the others. They're just going to keep stocking them because people are buying them. So it's something I don't think we're ever going to win.
No. We're not because the what I was getting at was the same thing can be said about, I mean, you go to your pet store, they don't have bikers in a 360-gallon tank. They've got them in a 20 long. They don't have Oscars in a whatever. They have them in a 10-gallon. Yeah. An Oscar in a 10-gallon tank at the fish store is no different than a beta in a cup. It's just not.
Yeah, but that Oscar is probably in a heated tank at least, where in the wintertime, they have those beta cups almost right in front of doors that open, and they're not warm.
Oh, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not saying that the betas in the cups are right. I'm just saying that the point could be made about all of them. But you're absolutely right, Mr. Skippity Doodah. Yeah, people need to stop trying to get attention by saying I rescued a beta from the cups, because at the end of the day, you are sending that message that, oh, pet store needs to order more.
Yeah.
Mark Kornberg doesn't like when we talk about this because he's in a situation where he still has his betas in a cup. But his employees do water changes in those tanks, in those cups, every single day.
He also has a little system too. Like they're not 100%. It's just some.
It's true. Matthew Plowden, good evening, guys. Not sure how you feel about this, but I'm doing a natural tank. Got a jar with leaves and decomposition from a pond. After observing for bad stuff, how and should I put this in my tank?
You know what?
It's more your speed there.
No, because for me, I was going to say that's definitely a question that you should be asking someone like Father Fish or Lucas Bretz, because they would be a little bit more familiar with the stuff in the ponds, you know? Now, I've gathered things up from outside that have not been in water, like magnolia leaves that have fallen off the tree that are already brown and dead, and the little pods from the magnolia trees that used to have the little red seeds in them, but without them, and some of the leaves, what is that tree we have out there? I forget. It's
Sycamore.
The sycamore tree leaves and branches. I have used stuff like that out of my yard, even moss from my yard, but I soak it and I boil it if it's something that needs to be boiled, and then I soak it some more, because you just don't know, and I don't want to risk that as far as putting it in a tank with my fish and something getting diseased. You know, you never know, or if there's a chemical. Now, if it's from a pond, probably there's no chemical, but
You wouldn't think.
You still don't know if there's like parasites or something. I always like to boil stuff, but you know, as far as what you're saying, getting it straight out of a pond, I would definitely ask somebody more like Lucas Bretz or Father Fish.
Yeah, the rule of thumb is anything that you take out of nature, you should absolutely boil it and kill anything that's on it before you put it in your tank.
But
I
that
think
kind
that's
of
good
defeats
advice.
the purpose of some stuff that Father Fish would preach. I'm just saying, you don't want to always kill everything.
I don't do Father Fish tanks, not because I don't like them, but because that's just not what I do.
But I'm just saying there are benefits to certain things like that. So.
Marine Josh, can I submit my saltwater tank to rate my tank? You absolutely can, my friend. And thank you for watching this. You're a saltwater guy and you're watching. That's really cool. Yeah, you can definitely do that because some of the most beautiful tanks out there are saltwater tanks. But I'm not going to be able to identify what all the corals are, and I probably won't know what hardly any of the fish are. And I don't know that the rating will be fair, but we can certainly try. I'd be happy to try. And then we got to thank John Pavlicek. I think I nailed it, John, for becoming a member. Now, you've got some thank yous that you have to do. We both do.
I have quite a few thank yous, actually, because as far as for my cats go, I was very fortunate to have a couple people donate for my cats, and that's always a super special thing, and it helps a lot because there's quite
so
a few
many of them.
Yeah, they are, and they're so sweet, and they all need homes. So if anybody wants a cute kitty, let me know. Yeah, so I want to thank Jerry and Ann, Jerry Goebel, and I want to thank Vincent Dunn. Thank you so much for donating to the cats. I appreciate it. Also, we got a surprise in the mail this week, and
We both got cool stuff.
The funny thing is, it's so funny, all right? John, I say, John, did you order something from Amazon? And he's like, no, it must be for you. And I'm like, no, I didn't order anything from Amazon. And so he gets it and he brings it in, and it's a gift, multiple gifts from Jason and Joanna Adams from Primetime. And it's funny.
I think it was a troll. I think it was.
Yeah, that he sent that in the Amazon box. I laughed so hard. But
A brilliant troll, by the way.
Joanna wanted to make sure she sent me this. It's from M. Lawson. I believe they had put it or gave it to Joanna and Jason because we weren't at Aquashella. So they gave it to them, and Joanna decided to send it. And I wanted to say thank you so much for the thank you so much card, because you're thanking us, and for the PetSmart gift card.
That's for the kitties.
I appreciate that very much. I thought that was so sweet.
That's
So,
awesome.
Thank you very much.
While you get
And-
yourself straight, there was also some gifts for me in there.
How was it done?
Oh, but I thought you were going to grab some more. And while you were doing that, I was going to do mine. Okay, go ahead.
Stop.
We got 4 minutes. You better hurry up.
Okay. Oh, Joanna sent me this. I got a really cool Christmas ornament a couple years ago from Stephen P. and Jenna. And this one is going to look so good with it because I'm going to do a little Christmas tree in the fish house. And here is a little beta ornament, and it's glass. It's one of those glass ornaments. Isn't it cute?
It is adorable.
I love it so much. And then this was attached to it. It's a little Monstera clip.
It looks like a Shrinky Dink. I'm showing
so
my age
cute.
there. Remember Shrinky Dinks?
Yeah. But this, okay, look, this is so cool. Joanna's friend makes stuff like this, and she made this, and Joanna thought of me. And I thought that was so sweet that she knows me so well, and she sent it. It's a Monstera bowl. Can you see it?
There you go. Remember, everything's backwards like a dentist.
Isn't it so pretty? I love it, and it's the perfect color. It goes with my living room, so I am really excited about that. And it matches all the other Monsteras that I have in my living room because I love Monsteras. So thank you. You may go.
Thank you. One of the benefits of being friends with Jason Adams and Joanna Adams and their sons is they are big seam heads, just like I am, and they go to a lot of their the local affiliate. I don't know who they're affiliated with, but their local minor league team that are called the Schaumburg. It's escaping Boomers.
Boomers.
And they have season tickets at that for that team. They go all the time. I guess they live right around the corner from it. And so that team always does bobblehead giveaways because that's what baseball teams do. Jason knows that I am a bobblehead collector. And so whenever they're doing giveaways, he always makes sure that one of them gets sent to me. And check this guy. Are you kidding me?
It's adorable.
They have the coolest bobbleheads that they give away. And I can't get it to focus on him because it wants to focus on my face. There he is. It's the most adorable Bugs Bunny, and it looks like Baltimore Orioles colors. I don't have a problem with that, but it's actually the Schaumburg Boomers. I love it. And then, have you seen the videos on YouTube of the races that they do at baseball games where you get a guy that starts in center field and he starts running to home plate? And then there's another guy that like starts at home plate and has to run the entire way around. And he's like a speed demon guy that runs all the way around and catches them and ends up winning. Well, they have one of those guys too.
Oh.
And it's the Pickle.
Oh, she sent me a picture.
Again, it's not going to focus on him. It's the Pickle, and it's signed by the Pickle. You got to love that. It is the Rally Pickle. Come on. The guy or girl puts on a pickle suit and wins the races at these things. That's insanity.
She sent me pictures of him signing it for you.
Oh, that's cool. Put that up to the camera. That's about as good as we're going to be able to do there. That's amazing. How cool is that? That's fun. Now, On the topic of Jason and Joanna, first of all, they've also sent me a Ghostbusters one, and there was one that is, I guess, their mascot. He's like a eagle or something like that. So I've gotten like 6 bobbleheads from Jason and Joanna. It's amazing.
Ghostbusters,
I
did
love
you
it.
say
The Ghostbusters one, yeah. It's amazing. And on the topic of Jason and Joanna, guess what? They are streaming right now as we speak. So it's
we gotta get
9
off
o'clock. We have to say goodbye so that all of you can go over there. You don't even have to click a button, folks. Just sit there, relax, and you're going to get sent right over there. And the hashtag has to be pickle.
Pickle.
Go over there and put the hashtag pickle in the comments over there so that they know that you came from us. And we will see you next week.
And drink your palm. It's good for you. Bye.
What a weirdo.